Hey, badass writers. Hey, solo performers extraordinaire. It's April Yvette Thompson here from the Dream Unlocked. And as promised, this is the short and sweet How to Write a Solo Show class. I have some great questions from Ann Wallace, who was at this past Sunday's free tutorial on how to write a solo class. And she's been following along with all the videos. If you want to get all 3 videos plus the class, you have to sign up at thedreamunlocked.com. Just click that page in this little box that says sign up. Just sign up. If you allow pop-ups, a little screen will pop up and you just sign up. And we'll send it to you. Like, you'll get it within 5 minutes of filling that out. Just check your inbox. So Anne has been following all those free classes because here's my theory at the Dream Unlocked, which is boutique coaching for actors and writers. I'm the founder and creator. And I'm an actor, writer, producer, coach, teacher, traveler, whatever. I'm a person that likes to think a lot, come up with ideas, and share them. I created it initially to have big classes, and I worked in other acting studios, and I worked in universities, and I was like, this is all bullshit. Because at the same time that I was working in universities, I was also acting. I was like doing movies and doing TV, and I was like, what we're learning in school has nothing to do with what's going on out here. This is not helping me. I was like, I need to move into TV and film. Writing a solo show is what helped me move into TV and film. For many reasons. One, you finally get to eat and work in the theater. You know, that $300 a week, $400 a week thing, you know, you're hanging out with theater actors and they're like, I'm sorry, we have to go to Grace Papaya. We can't go sit down and have lunch in a restaurant and sit down. I can't afford it. And I was like, can't be my life. Sorry. I'm not trying to be a hater-rater on anybody else, but once you get past 40, not being able to afford, you know, a hamburger in a nice restaurant, this is not a life I wanted to be living. And I loved the theater. I love it. But I have to have a certain quality of life to be happy. Writing a solo show allowed me that. Because when you write a solo show, you are the actor. So you're getting your little $400 a week from equity. And you're getting your pension and your health benefits and your health insurance for free, which is great. But then you're also getting paid as a writer. And writers get what's called an option. So somebody options my play, Liberty City, Goodbird Alley. They got to pay you $10,000, $6,000, $7,000. And regional theaters between $10,000 and $15,000 for your first time out. You know, off-Broadway theaters maybe a little less. But so the range is 10 to 15,000, right? And then past that 10 to 15,000, you get 6% of house. Okay, so let's talk about doing your solo show in a theater. Okay, so you're getting your little $400 a week while you're in rehearsal. If you're in regional theater, you're getting $800 a week. So it says $800. Then you got your option, which was, let's call it $15,000. Okay. Great. Now we're already at over $20,000 with your weekly salary for 8 weeks. We're done. 6 weeks even. We're done. It's $20,000. Even if you don't get a percentage of house because you didn't make as much money. But if you make your option, a certain percentage of it, then 6% of ticket sales every night, you also get a check for that at the end. What is there about this to not love? like, what is there about this to not love? There's nothing. You can make a living. You're making $20,000 a pop doing your solo show. You don't need to do them 5 times a year, 2 times a year, 3 times a year. It's all good. I don't even perform my solo show anymore because solo shows are a lot of motherfucking work. But somebody else can license it. Somebody else can pay me the writer option. And then go produce a show, and then give me 6% of house tickets. So I'm making money while I'm sleeping. So that was one amazing reason to do the solo show. To be able to stay in the theater and still make a living. If you have a story to tell, that's even better reason. And to know where you want to land, right? So people tell me all the time, I got a great question from Anne, which was, you know, how do you know who's going to be able to, who's going to want to do your show? Who's going to want to listen? Who's your audience? Well, you should figure some of that stuff out now, right? I know my audience based on my interest, right? What books I love to read, who I keep up with, um, what kind of music I listen to, the art in my apartment. You know, most of my friends are going to look like me, probably the same salary range. I don't have billionaire friends. They're all sort of artsy, free-form writer thinkers like me, but who make a steady living. We're not rich, but we're not starving, right? My audience is into astrology and crystals and stones and and Moroccan poops. And, you know, I have my audience are people that I share common ground with. Your audience are people who join your sign up lists. You know, your audience are, there's amazing people joining this, and it's very funny. Some people who are not even writers who are trying to engage me. But your group, your target audience, are the people that share some of your ideals. And as I was just saying in the Badass Actor group, when I was teaching there, is that until you state your intention, nobody knows what you want and they don't know what to come to. You actually have to build something for somebody to come to, which is your solo show. It's your story. So like my client, Juan Francisco Villa, and Justine S. Hall, and Nilsa Reina, and David Newer, I was like, build and state what you want your show to be. Well, it's not done. It's not done. State what you want your show to be. Build a Facebook page. Write about on the Facebook page. Take pictures of what you want it to be. And it will be. But until you state your intention, you're not making room in the universe for your intention to have space to show up, right? You know that expression, if you build it, they will come. Build it. Build a Facebook page. I wanted to write Good Bread Alley. I had no pages written. I had nothing. So I'm going to do Kickstarter, but I don't have a play. I made a video about what I wanted to write about. And got some friends. This is what I want to write about. And everybody was like, really? I'll help you. We made a video. You can see it at goodbreadalley.weebly.com. We made a video and I raised $100,000 in 30 days. I just talked about what I wanted to make. I talked about the story I wanted to tell. I didn't get attached to how it was going to get done. I just kept saying what I wanted to do. And the more I said it, the more people created opportunities for me to go away and write and pay me. You know, I was at the Arch Center doing a show. And I was like, I want to write a show about this, and I want it to be this, and I want it to be this, and I want it to be this. A year or so later, they came back, they're like, because we'll give you $10,000 to come here for 3 weeks and do research. And we'll get your car, and we'll get you into all the university libraries to research it. That only happened because I kept saying, I want to do this. I want to write this. I want to tell this story. I want to tell this story. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I didn't know how I was going to write it. I'd never written a multi-character show. I didn't know how I was going to write my solo show. I just kept dancing around auditions and parties and saying, I want to write a solo show, and the solo show is going to be like this, and I want to write it. And they're like, yeah. I actually got to the point where I was saying, I'm writing a solo show. Nothing was written. Nothing. I said it long enough, and an off-Broadway playwright with a hit show, The Exonerated, that I was doing, was like, I'll write it with you. And then we wrote a play, and it was done. I was like, I want my show to be at the Public or New York Theater Workshop. That's what I told Nalaja's son after I watched her show No Child. And she laughed with me 5 years later. She's like, you told me that you were going to have a solo show at either the Public or New York Theater Workshop, and then you did. You know why? Because I kept saying that's what I want. And then people just came forward and helped me make that happen. Playwright Tanya Barfield and Keith Corthorn. They put in calls. They got me space. You got to manifest it, right? So your first intention, if you do nothing else today, nothing else, create an Instagram page. That's actually how I started on my second play. I was like, I want to write about Afro-Cuban women and Gullah women. So I just went and found tons of pictures of Afro-Cuban women and Gullah women, and I just posted them on Instagram. And within a month, 800 followers. That's right, Juana. Speak it into existence. And I have to tell you, none of this I did by myself. None of it. None of it. The Kickstarter, I had a staff of 15 people who were just like, April, what are you going to do? You're going to do this play? How can I help? I was like, what? They were like, you've been saying it for like forever. How can I help? And I learned how to do it along the way by saying, I don't know how to write. Okay, but I don't know structure. Okay, but I know first person voice, right? Speak it and you will find your audience. That's the answer to that question. Speak it and you will find your audience. The second one is to start as you speak it, build a platform for it, like your Instagram or your Facebook, and start writing down what it's going to be about. If you haven't signed up for my mailing list at thedreamunlocked.com, please do that. And we will send you all kinds of writing exercises that come up. I have a thing called the Dreaming Out Loud Ritual, which my TED Talk is all about. If you want to pick up the TED Talk, it's April Yvette Thompson TED Talk. You can just go on YouTube. But that's how I learned to write. The morning pages, the list, this whole 9 thing. And I have sent that out thousands of times. If you go to my blog, you can find it. I give away so much free content. If you follow me on YouTube, April Yvette Thompson, I have a 3-part series of how to write a solo show. If you were just doing the free shit, you'd have 20 pages written today. It's not that complicated. I give it away because manifesting and teaching it is who I am. It brings me joy, and I have the kind of brain that can organize it and feed it to people in a way that's receivable. But if you want to pay me and get it done, which most people start in my free classes, and all the people that I listed before, the solo show artists, that was their first time writing a solo show, which is why they came to me, because they saw my solo show, which was the first time I had ever written a solo show. And they were like, so somebody can get a hit solo show the first time out? I was like, yeah, you just find somebody that knows more about writing than you do, which is who Jessica Blank was to me. And in writing the play, I learned how to write. So that my next play I wrote by myself, right? But it is the writing. Now, if you start writing and you're not in a class and you don't have a coach, you don't have a teacher, you could be writing for a long time, right? I do believe in the sensei, the master teacher. It's actually incredibly important. I am a little Black girl from the Pork Bean Projects in Miami, Florida. Now, anybody in here knows anything about Liberty City, you know that the Pork Bean Projects are a third world country under siege. I mean, my mama had $50 a week and she paid the mortgage and fed us. I was like, okay, that is where I am from. It is storytelling. It is my mother putting us on buses and taking 3 different buses to the Miami Beach Convention Center to take us to see Sammy Davis Jr., to take us to see Beverly Sills sing La Boheme. You know, she taught me to dream out loud and to dream about not the world that's here in front of me, but the world that I would like to have, and to always ask for help, and to always find a mentor and ask them stuff. I had a mentor in high school, Mr. Moore. He's the director of administration at the community center in my neighborhood. I was like, I want to learn how to do this. I want to learn how to do that. And he's like, you know, people's time is valuable. I was like, damn, that's right. And I was like, well, what can I do? I was like, I don't have any money. How can I do? He's like, you can work. And I worked in that office 4 hours every day after school. Every day. I learned how to run computers. I learned how to do letters. I learned the 5-paragraph essay format. And he taught me, because I was doing work for him. He taught me the value of finding a master teacher. So when I got to 11th grade, I already knew how to use a computer. I already knew how to type. I already knew about Microsoft and Apple. Like, most of the people in public schools didn't know about that. I did, because I worked for that man from the time I was 15 until I went off to college when I was 18, right? I believe in the master teacher. It's why I went to graduate school. You will spin your wheels out here for 15 years trying to learn a skill instead of paying somebody or working like the devil and getting 3 jobs to pay them to teach you what they know. I swear by that. I have a business because I had a business coach, and I can work from anywhere in the world, right? I have an acting career because I hired acting teachers, and I didn't eat for 7 years. I was like, but I could still be out here not working as an actor, right? I paid an acting teacher. Within 2 years of paying that acting teacher, I had acting jobs. See how that works? Or you can come out here cold with no training. So to that end, with the How to Write a Solo Show, because I'm teaching this because everybody's filled out the surveys, you go to my website, you send me questions. What about the solo show, the solo show, the solo show, the solo show? I'm like, okay, the solo show. So that's why I'm teaching this. And if you signed up, you're starting to get the free videos, but you're also getting sort of my philosophy. And in that philosophy, I've created some classes, which are now on sale for the next 10 days. There is a 6-week class, which is going to be crazy intensive. It'll meet every Saturday for 2 hours. The Dream Unlocked coaching is called boutique coaching, meaning there's never more than 10 people in any of my classes. So we look at anything from 2 to 10 people. I'm going to run a class. And so you get a lot of personal attention. And in that time, you're going to generate a minimum of 25 pages a week. And you're going to get a rough draft of the first half of your script. And then the last week of the class, you're going to perform it on its feet. I'm not trying to play with you. And you can pay for that in payment plans. I think they start at like $180. The payment plans, the class is $499. Then the other option I have, which is invitation only. It's the 12-week advanced. And this is for people who actually already have a show. And they want to finish it and do a public reading of it. And that 12-week class is by invitation. So if you go to thedreamunlocked.com, you can look for these pages. You should sign up, and I'll send you guys the link. I'll post it on here. The class, there's a page for you to sign up and send us 15 pages of your first script and your headshot and your resume if you're interested in the 12-week class, which culminates in an industry showcase of your reading, a public reading. So, because I'm going to help you finish. Because I don't believe in having students for 20 years. I want a student to come with me and say, this is what I want to do. And I say, okay, good, we're going to do that in a year. They're like, what? I was like, I don't want to see you past a year. Get to work. So, oh my gosh, Wanna Love, you took my online class a year and a half ago. What class did you take? That's so interesting. So a lot of my people that did their shows in private coaching are now working on their second show and have referred me to other people who are like, how much does it cost? It's like, as a private coach, I'm $500 an hour. Yeah, I know. That's a lot of money. But here's what I've done for people. Because of that, I have created a 12-step program, which is $29.99 a month. So you can't tell me it's about money. And basically what the 12-step program is all of my classes on tape, but broken up into miniature lessons, okay, so that students don't get overwhelmed. You sign and you get an account on the Dream Unlocked, and then we set up your account so that you can access all of your classes. And then each week you get an email announcing, okay, go to this page, and there's lesson 1, which will be a master class. So that'll be like an hour long with a series of exercises for you to do. And then down at the bottom of the screen, there'll be a little box for comments. So it'll be like having a private coach, because I will respond to those comments within 24 hours. So that you have questions. And then after you get the masterclass on a theme for that month, which is how to generate raw material, basically, for a solo show and create character. Then each week, you will get mini lessons that build on the theme of the month. Right? And those mini lessons, we try and make them small so people don't get overwhelmed, because the masterclasses may be a lot of homework that you have to do. Get through that homework, get through that homework. This is a 12-month class. So you're getting 12 master classes and then 3 mini classes each week. You get a huge newsletter, which is here on this page if you scroll down, the June newsletter for the Badass Writer. Some of them we share with the public, but if you're in the 12th step and you purchase it, you get the newsletter every month. And it's chock full of deadlines and help with applications for writers and writing prompts, and like, it's great. So it's a great option for folks. Plus, you get the comment section. Plus, once a month, you get to log into the private Badass Writing group, and I do office hours where you can ask me questions. So that's how I've made this accessible to people. I want to answer another question. Juana, do you have any questions? Oh, you must have the Dream Unlocked. I'm going to look at the questions that were emailed to me. I also have, it was a really quick, inciting incident. This is a great one for solo shows. The first moment of solo shows when people start talking, I already know this is going to be therapy. They're going to work with how they feel about their mama, which is not interesting. Or they are going to tell me a story. And the story is going to begin with what had happened was. And your what had happened was, I love the colloquial. That's your inciting incident. The inciting incident is the event that causes the entire story to start. Okay? What's that story? Oh, I was like, what had happened was, I'm telling you, I did a video called What Had Happened Was. You can go to my YouTube channel, April Yvette Thompson. What had happened was, people exploded on that video. They were like, oh my God, that's what the inciting incident is. So I had to get all ghetto for you to get the inciting incident. The inciting incident is what starts the play. It's why you're telling the story, right? It's why you're telling the story. Right? You know, you see those people, the man on the street that they interview, a building is on fire, and there's always somebody in a goddamn do-rag. Why? Is it the most ghetto person? But they got a story. And the first thing they say is, what had happened was I was in my bed and then I heard noise and I was like, oh my God, it's a fire. The fire escape started scraping and falling down the wall because it was rusty. That's the inciting incident. What happens to cause this story to be told? It has to be a big pow wow event. That's the inciting incident. So that's what's often missing and why people are standing there explaining their life story to you. Because solo shows get a bad rap, yo. They get a really bad rap. And it's because so many people use this therapy or they don't learn how to write. Please, for the love of God, pay somebody to teach you how to write. There is nothing more painful than going to see one person on that stage by themselves for an hour and a half, sucking. It's not stand-up comedy and it's not spoken word by itself. It is a complete story with a beginning, middle, and end. A character who's your hero, or who I like to call the Dora Milaje, because all heroes are fabulous African women tearing shit down. And if you create a character like that as your hero, you won't have problems with inciting incident because she'll be a Dora Milaje. She won't have hair. She'll have a spear. What's not to like? Okay. So your Dora Milaje or your heroine is going to go on a journey. Right? That's the hero's journey in your solo show. And they're going to learn something that changes them. Something they were probably afraid to learn before, but they need to move forward in their life. Right? So what prompts your Dora Milaje, your heroine, to get shit done is the inciting incident. What had happened to her that sends her into action? What had happened? Just that simple. Just that simple. I have another question. When you feel the condition, how do I make it brilliant? Make it honest. Be honest. That's it. Tell me what happened to you. Don't explain it. Show me what happened. What had happened. And don't explain, well, I lived in this neighborhood. It was like this. Cut right to the story. Cut right to the story. Start with the action of the story. And one trick, I'm going to give you this last trick before I go, is if you're not sure about the inciting incident, think about the first time something happened to you. First times are always filled with high stakes. Your first kiss, your first Christmas, your first marriage, right? The first time you fell in love. The first. You write about the first time. It has high stakes, very high stakes. I remember my first kiss. It was not pretty. I can tell you a really great story about it. It was so not pretty, it was traumatizing. So, the first time something happened, first time you realized that your parents were mortal, First time you heard your parents having sex. It's like in your mind, you're like, ew, right? The first time, the first time a man looked at you and saw you, and not just a piece of ass. The first time I went to Morocco. Hallelujah, praise Jesus. Because I loved it. The first time. I can tell you 20,000 stories because it was something important to me. And it was the first time. Everything was magic. If you start with the first time, you'll always start with the action. Don't explain to me how you feel about it. Tell me what happened. That's all I got, people. Love you. Mean it. Check out the Dream Unlocked. I will leave a link to sign up for the classes. And if you, hi, John. And if you have more questions, you can leave them in the comments and I will respond. I think that's it. Bye, y'all. Thank you for joining me. Bye.